What if I told you that I made $2,847 last month without lifting a finger? Well, almost without lifting a finger. I decided to conduct the ultimate experiment, hand over my entire side hustle to artificial intelligence for 30 days and see what happens. The results? Let's just say AI isn't quite ready to replace me yet, but what it did accomplish will blow your mind. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which AI tools can actually make you money and which ones will leave you broke and confused. Alright, let me set the stage. For the past 2 years, I've been running a digital marketing side hustle. Nothing crazy. I create social media content for small businesses, run their ad campaigns, and occasionally design some graphics. On a good month, I pull in around $3,000. On a bad month, well, let's not talk about those. But here's the thing, I'm burning out. Between my day job and client demands, I'm working 70-hour weeks. So when I kept seeing these AI success stories all over YouTube, I thought, what if AI could actually run this thing for me? The rules were simple. AI handles all client communication. AI creates all content. AI manages all advertising campaigns. I can only intervene if something goes catastrophically wrong. Oh, and I'm documenting everything for you guys. Spoiler alert, things got weird fast. The AI toolkit. First, I needed to build my AI army. After researching for way too long, here's the stack I settled on. For client communication, ChatGPT Plus with custom GPTs trained on my previous client interactions. I fed it 2 years worth of emails, and honestly, it started responding more professionally than I ever did. For content creation, a combination of Midjourney for graphics, Runway ML for video content, and Jasper AI for copywriting. The goal was to completely replace my creative process. For ad management, I used Optmyzr, integrated with Google Ads and Facebook Ads Manager. This was the scariest part, because this is where the real money gets spent. For project management, Motion AI to handle scheduling, task prioritization, and deadline tracking. Basically, my digital assistant that never sleeps. Total monthly cost for all these tools? $287. If this experiment worked, that's a steal. If it didn't, well, that's an expensive lesson. Week 1, the honeymoon phase. Week 1 was magical. I woke up to find ChatGPT had responded to 7 client emails overnight. And get this, they were good responses, like really good. One client even replied saying it was the most detailed project brief they'd ever received. The content creation was insane. Midjourney pumped out 50 social media graphics in the time it usually takes me to create 5. Were they all usable? Number, but the hit rate was about 60%, which is honestly better than some of my Monday morning attempts. But here's where it got interesting. The AI started making decisions I never would have made. It scheduled a client's Instagram posts for 2 a.m. based on their analytics, which seemed crazy until I realized their audience was actually in a completely different time zone. The engagement rates doubled. I was starting to think I might be out of a job soon. Revenue for week 1, $890. That's actually above my weekly average. Week 2, the first cracks. Week 2 is when the AI started to, how do I put this, develop a personality, and not always a good one. ChatGPT decided to get creative with a client proposal and suggested they rebrand their family restaurant as a disruptive culinary experience, leveraging synergistic flavor profiles. The client was a 67-year-old Italian man who just wanted more customers. He was not amused. Then there was the great caption incident of day 10. Jasper AI was writing social media captions for a local gym and somehow interpreted fitness motivation as an opportunity to write philosophical treatises about the existential nature of burpees. One caption was literally 200 words long and ended with a quote from Nietzsche. The gym owner called me directly. First time in 2 weeks, I had to break my no intervention rule. Turns out AI doesn't understand that sometimes simple is better. But the ads were performing surprisingly well. Optmyzr was making micro adjustments every few hours, and the cost per acquisition was dropping steadily. Week 2, revenue $756. Week 3, the rebellion. Week 3 was when I learned that AI doesn't just follow instructions, it interprets them, and sometimes its interpretation is creative. I had set up Motion AI to prioritize urgent tasks, but apparently AI and I have very different definitions of urgent. While I was assuming it would prioritize client deadlines, it decided that reorganizing my entire file structure was the most critical task of the day. I came back to find it had renamed every project file with what can only be described as robot poetry. Client presentation final VI2 became strategic visual narrative for sustenance establishment alpha version. I couldn't find anything for 3 days. Meanwhile, Midjourney was getting experimental. A client asked for professional headshots for their LinkedIn team, and AI decided to interpret professional as Renaissance oil painting style. The results were technically impressive, but probably not what an accounting firm was looking for. The saving grace was that the overall numbers were still solid. Client retention was at 100%, mostly because the AI AI was so polite and responsive that clients were happier than ever, even when confused by the deliverables. Week 3 revenue, $672. Week 4, the breakthrough. Week 4 was when something clicked. Not with me, with the AI. It was like all the tools suddenly started working together in ways I hadn't programmed. ChatGPT began referencing the content creation calendar that Midjourney was following, which was based on the ad performance data from Optmyzr, which was scheduled by Motion AI. They were talking to each other through my Google Workspace, and I hadn't set that up. The results were remarkable. A client's engagement rate increased by 340% because the AI had identified patterns in their audience behavior that I never would have caught. It was posting content when their audience was most active, using color schemes that tested better in their demographic, and writing in a tone that matched their brand voice better than I ever had. But the real breakthrough came when a potential client reached out for a consultation. Instead of scheduling a call like I normally would, ChatGPT conducted the entire initial consultation via email, asked better qualifying questions than I do, and presented a custom proposal that was so detailed and personalized that the client signed on the spot. No sales call, no negotiation, just a perfectly crafted email sequence. Week 4 revenue, $1,247, my highest single week ever. The final tally. Alright, moment of truth. After 30 days of letting AI run my side hustle, here are the numbers. Total revenue, $3,565. Total expenses, including AI tools, $1,847. Net profit, $1,718. For comparison, my average month typically brings in $2,200 with about $400 in expenses, leaving me with $1,800 profit. So financially, it was almost identical. But here's what the numbers don't show. I worked about 15 hours total over those 30 days instead of my usual 120 hours. That's a 90% reduction in time spent. The quality was mixed. Some work was absolutely incredible, better than anything I could have produced. Other work required significant cleanup. The AI excelled at data-driven decisions, pattern recognition, and consistency. It struggled with nuance, client relationship management, and knowing when to break its own rules. 3 clients specifically mentioned that communication felt different but more thorough. 2 clients asked if I had hired an assistant. 1 client asked if I was feeling okay because I was suddenly so organized. What I learned. Here's what this experiment taught me about AI in business. First, AI is incredible at handling routine tasks, email responses, content creation, basic data analysis. It's faster and often more consistent than humans. The client onboarding process became seamless because AI never forgot to ask important questions or send follow-up emails. Second, AI lacks emotional intelligence. It couldn't read between the lines when a client was frustrated or needed a different communication style. I had to intervene 3 times when AI responses were technically correct but emotionally tone deaf. Third, AI is only as good as your systems. The weeks when everything worked smoothly were when I had clear processes and good data. When my instructions were vague or my data was messy, AI made impressive mistakes very efficiently. Fourth, the real power is in the combination. AI handling routine tasks freed me up to focus on strategy, relationship building, and creative problem solving. It's not about AI replacing humans. It's about AI amplifying human capabilities, the tools that actually work. Let me break down which tools actually moved the needle. S tier, game changers. ChatGPT Plus with custom GPTs for client communication, Optmyzr for ad management. This genuinely improved performance. A tier, very useful. Midjourney for rapid content creation. Motion AI for project management. B tier, helpful but limited. Jasper AI for copywriting, good output but needs heavy editing. Runway ML for video content, cool but not cost effective for most projects. C tier, overhyped. Most AI business automation tools that promise everything but deliver generic solutions. The key isn't using every AI tool available. It's picking the right tools for your specific workflow and actually learning how to use them properly. What's next? So, am I going full AI from now on? Not exactly. What I'm doing is keeping the systems that work and taking back control of the relationship management. AI will handle my email responses, content creation, and ad optimization, but I'm personally handling client calls, creative strategy, and anything that requires emotional intelligence or complex problem solving. The goal isn't to be replaced by AI. It's to use AI to become superhuman at what you do. I can now handle twice as many clients with better results and less stress. If you're thinking about integrating AI into your business, start small. Pick one repetitive task and automate it properly before moving to the next one. Don't try to automate everything at once like I did. You'll spend more time managing the AI than doing the work yourself. If this experiment inspired you to try AI in your own business, let me know in the comments what tools you're planning to test. I'm actually thinking about doing a follow-up series where I help viewers implement AI in their specific businesses. Would you watch that? Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more experiments like this one. I'm already planning my next challenge, letting AI manage my entire personal finance for 30 days. That one should be interesting. And if you're wondering which AI tool to start with, I've put together together a free guide with my exact prompts and setup instructions. Link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.